Hello everyone. In this video, we will go through some examples given the select and ultimate life tables or mortality tables. A select and ultimate mortality table has a separate row of values. Either the entries is QX or LX for each age of selection, and then in the end, blend with the ultimate values. Consider the following table. The select period is 3 years. The entries is the mortality probability. So I call this mortality table. The first column is the age X. And then column 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the mortality probabilities at the same select age for each row. Say X equals 20 and individual select at age 20, we have the mortality probability Q square bracket 20. 1 year later, when this individual select at age 20 reach age 21, we move along the same row to the right-hand side. The corresponding mortality probability is Q20 plus 1, and then reaching age 22. Go all the way to the right until the end. We reach the last column of probability at age X plus 3, that is at age 23. This is the end of the 3-year period of the selection. So this is the ultimate value, Q23. And the last column, this corresponds to the age X plus 3, just for the years of our referencing for the last column of these probabilities. Once we reach the ultimate value in that row, the far right, Q23, 1 year later, when this individual reached age 24, we move vertically down to reach the probability Q24, Q25, etc. Let's take a look at an example. Okay, suppose we have a 2-year select and ultimate life table. The select period is 2 years. So if the individual select at age X, reaching age X plus 2, this is already the ultimate period. Reading the table, say the individual select at age 40. This is a life table. The column is L's. The expected number of survivors is 1,000 for this select group, select at age 40. And then 1 year later, the expected number of survivors is 998. And then 1 year later, this group of individuals will merge with the ultimate part of the population. And here, the expected number of survivors is 995. And then 1 year later, reaching age 43, we have 988, etc. Let's do some calculation. Say if we want to get the expected number of deaths for a select group of individuals at age 41. D41 equals L41 minus L42. With the select age 41, we have L square bracket 41 minus L square bracket 41 plus 1. This is still L41 minus L42, but with select age 41. L41, we have 996, and then L41 plus 1, 994. Therefore, D41 here is 2. The next quantity, say D41 plus 1, which equals L41 plus 1 minus L41 plus 2, but this is a 2-year select and ultimate life table. Reaching age 43, this already is the ultimate part of the table. So we have simply L43 instead of L41 plus 2. All right, so we have L41 plus 1, 994, and then L43, 988. And we get the answer 6. The next quantity, D42, simply the ultimate part of the population, non-select group at age 42. This is L42 minus L43. Okay, find the corresponding value, L42 and L43. These two columns are for selected life. Okay, so we need to find the numbers in the last column here, Lx plus 2. L42 corresponds to this row. The value is 995. And then L43, 988. And we get D42 equals 7. All right, another example. Okay, given the following 2-year select and ultimate life table, calculating these 3 pairs of quantities. All right, part A, 2P41. The select age is 41. This equals L43 over L41. Age 43 is beyond the select period, the ultimate part. And we get L43, 988. And then L41 select age at 41 is 996. And again, we get the corresponding probability, 0.9920. At the same age, 41, the second quantity is 2P40 plus 1, individuals select at age 40. The probability of this group of individuals survive beyond age 43. This corresponds to the expression L43 over L40 plus 1. L43, 988, and L40 plus 1, this column, 998. And we get the probability 0.99. The next pair, one bar Q 41 plus 1, select age at 41, which equals L43 minus L44 over L41 plus 1. L43 and L44, 988, 982. And then L41 plus 1, select age at 41. So we get 994. Upon calculation, we get the probability. The second part, one bar Q42, long select life. This is L43 minus L44 over L42. All are the ultimate values. So the last column, or the column corresponds to Lx plus 2. We want the L's with the age 43, 44 in the numerator, and then the denominator L42. Upon calculation, we get the answer. Part C. The first quantity, 2D43, select age at 43, which is L43 minus L45. L43, the 43 is the select age. And then 2 years later, 45, beyond the select period. L43, this column corresponds to X43. We get 987. And then L45, the ultimate value, age 45, 970. We get the answer 17. And the next quantity, also 2D43, but this group of individual select at age 42. So we have 2D square bracket 42 plus 1. 2-year select period. So L43, age 43 is already beyond the select period, the 2-year period, 2-year select period. So we have L43 and then minus L45. L43, 988, and then L45, 970. And we get the answer 18. All right, let's move on to another example. And here we are given a 3-year select and ultimate life table. The table corresponds to the mortality probabilities. First, calculate the probability that a life select at age 51 will die between ages 53 and 54. The notation, we have 2 bar Q51, the select age at 51. So we have square bracket 51. Say we express this as 2P51 times Q51 plus 2, and then further factor as P51 times P51 plus 1 times Q51 plus 2, all at select age 51. The square bracket with 51, so we are working with this row, and then get the corresponding values. These are all Qs. Q51 is 0.2. So we have the first term 1 minus 0.2 for the P. And then P51 plus 1, 0.22. And then the next one, 0.24. And then we get the answer 0.1498. Part B, calculate the probability that a life currently at age 51, this individual select at age 49, will die between ages 53 and 54. The notation is 2 bar Q, 49 plus 2, select age at 49. We have square bracket 49. Similar expression can be expressed as 2P49 plus 2 times Q53, which is P49 plus 2 times P52 times Q53. Age 52 already beyond the select period. So get back to the ultimate value. We need P49 plus 2. So we have value corresponds to this column, Qx plus 2 at x equals 49. So we have 0.22 here. And then P52 corresponds to this column, Qx plus 3, where x plus 3 corresponds to 52, the age 52. The Q is 0.24. Therefore, P52 is 1 minus 0.24. And then Q53. Upon calculation, we get 0.14x2. All right, so far, when we go through the examples, the corresponding life table or mortality tables, each row corresponds to the select age. say here X is 49, we have Q select H as 49, and Q select H as 49, and then plus 1, Q square bracket 49 plus 2, etc. There is another representation of the life table as given in this example. Okay, be aware of the columns. This is QX, and then the next column is Q, the select H is X minus 1, and then plus 1. And then the last column is the non-select life, QX. So each row represents the attained age of the individual. That is, at X equals 30, an individual select at age 30, the corresponding Q values is Q square bracket 30. And then the next number on the right, this corresponds to an individual select at age 29, and then 1 year later, reaching age 30, the corresponding probability is 0.0241. And then for the non-select group, the corresponding Qs is 0.0258. That is, if you want to read off the table with a select age, say X30, start with Q30, and then 1 year later, this will be Q30 plus 1. Then you go diagonally down to the right. And then reaching the ultimate part, go diagonally to the right as well, to the next column, to get Q32. So we have Q30, Q30 plus 1, and then Q32. All right, with this 2-year select and ultimate mortality table, calculate the two quantity, 3P31, the select age at 31, and 3P30 plus 1, the select age is 30. Three P31, this equals P31 times P32, which is within the select period. So we write it as P31 plus 1. And then reaching age 33, this is beyond the select period. The ultimate value, P33. From the table, P31, we have the Q31 here. And then 1 year later, go diagonally down to the right. And then P33. Upon calculation, we get 0.9197. The next quantity, 3P30 plus 1, expressed in terms of the product of P30 plus 1 times P32 times P33. Get P30 plus 1 should be somewhere in this column. We have 0.0259. We need to get a square bracket at age 30. So here, this column, the square bracket is X minus 1. So X is 31 in order to get the value for Q30 plus 1. And then P32 and P33, the ultimate value. We look for the information on QX, the last column. P32, so we need Q32, which is 0.0301. And P33, Q33 is 0.0327. And upon calculation, we get 0.9138. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. And in the next video, we will continue with the select and ultimate life tables with more examples. See you in the next video.